let me introduce to you our PROSE base station antenna models. All right, so basically we have actually we cover basically the whole spectrum of antennas, right, from 700 megahertz to up to 4,000 megahertz. Now, antennas are basically categorized into a few categories. We have the 4x4 MIMO antennas, which are the general antennas that are used, right, and also we have TDD beamforming, which is used for the 5G bands, right? And also we have what we call the FDD plus TDD antenna, because in many cases when we introduce 5G, there's actually no space on the tower top. So we basically have to remove the existing FDD antenna, which is for 4G, and replace with a new one that covers 4G plus the new 5G TDD antenna. So that's our FDD plus TDD antenna. Now we also have multi-beam antennas, each beam serving one sector. So these are in cases where you want to have more capacity on top of 4x4 MIMO. So we could have 4 beams or 3 beams together with 44R. So that will further boost the capacity of the cell site by using high order sectorization together with high order MIMO. Right. So that's also a very popular antenna that's used in many crowded cities in Asia. Right. And also we have this, the new all-in-one antenna. That means as what we have, 5G plus 4G, multi-beam, multi-band, all in one antenna. So all these antennas can be customized to the requirements of the customer, right? Depending on whether he wants multi-beam in the high band and 44R in the low band or high band, right? And also TDD beamforming for 5G. So that's all what we call the hybrid all-in-one antenna. Now we also have 45-degree antenna, which is a new one, because many operators are actually deploying 4 sector sites today instead of the traditional 3 sectors. So therefore we have a patented new design where we can actually have a 45-degree antenna that allows operators to deploy 4 sector sites instead of the traditional 3 sector sites. Then of course, not forgetting massive MIMO, we also produce the antenna boards for massive MIMO for integration into the major OEMs. Right, and lastly, we also have a few other newer innovations like high gain antenna, which can help to reduce the amount of base station count in the site, and also a lot of green initiatives, like for example using polymer down-tube brackets instead of the traditional metal brackets to actually reduce the CO2 emissions. All right, so many green initiatives were actually being innovated in the last 1 year to help to make the world a more green society. Right, so for example, you can see here, this is also a new antenna where we call it the A plus P. Now the P stands for passive, the A stands for active. So basically what happens is that if a particular operator wants to deploy massive MIMO in the future, you can see that the massive MIMO radio could be attached to the back of the antenna. All right, and basically the material that we use on the top part is a special material that provides very low loss, like 0.5 dB loss for the massive MIMO signals, while at the same time the traditional FDD antenna array is also embedded in the same antenna. So with this, when you add the massive MIMO radio, you don't have to occupy more footprint on the tower top, and also minimize the wind load on the tower. Right, so that's a quick overview of our range of base station antennas. Right, so now I'm going to introduce to you our microwave antennas. Right, so basically for the microwave antennas, we have basically the conventional antennas, which covers from 6 gigahertz to about 42 gigahertz from 1 feet to 10 feet, right? So we also have the dual band antennas, right? Dual polarized, right? But and also the new E-band antennas. So you can see here, we have a 80 gigahertz flat panel antenna, which is in the E-band, right? So this one can actually provide a gain of up to 43 or 44 dBi. Right, and it is a flat panel array and not like the conventional antenna, right? And now we're also starting to work on the new W-band 100 gigahertz antenna. All right, so this will be our latest range of microwave antennas for the microwave market. Thank you.